what will happen if I give all my time that I have to playing chess?
In 2024, Grandmaster Vidit Gujrathi played in the candidates and won the Olympiad. 1 year later, he had almost disappeared.
And that unlocked like a whole new world for me.
Vidit started using AI to vibe code chess apps.
That's not how it works. The ideas come when you're...
But now he's back at the board. We talked about his work on chess psychology and meditation.
My streak currently is 1830 days or something
Nice.
like this. And
I tested Vidit's knowledge of chess history.
You have 1 minute to list all the classical world chess champions.
And of course, do not miss our Blitz game at the end.
how's life?
Horrible. So Vidit, how well do you know your chess history?
Decent. I think I'm one of the players who has seen some classical games, but I should not say much because I think you're going to quiz me.
Yes, I do.
So,
You have 1
I should be
minute.
very modest. No, I'm very bad. I'm terrible.
You have 1 minute to list all the classical world chess champions in chronological order. We start now.
Steinites, Lasker, Capablanca, Alekhine, Max Owe, I don't know how to pronounce
Yes.
it. Botvinnik, Smyslov, Botvinnik, Tal, then again Botvinnik, Botvinnik, and then
You're doing good.
so much pressure, you know. Where was I? Smyslov?
You said Smyslov and you said Tal, who's the next one?
Yeah.
The one who dethroned Botvinnik?
Petrosian.
Yes.
Petrosian, then Petrosian lost to Spassky.
Yes.
Fischer, Karpov. I mean, then there were 3 different world champions.
But we can concentrate on the main one.
So Karpov, Kasparov, I would say Kramnik, Topalov, Vishianand, then Magnus,
and
Nepo,
the line of classical chess champions ends.
Nepo, then Gukesh.
Very, very well. So I think Topalov is not considered like within those classical lineage of FIDE chess champions, even though he was the winner of
Yeah,
this.
so there are these 18 world champions. I don't know how much I named them. And I also
you named everyone but for Dean Lejeune and Gukesh you named. Yes.
Yeah, it's also unclear. Yeah, like who was world champion in this 1990s, 2000s.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
I think according to like today, FIDE believe that like let's just forget about that this happened. Okay, you did really well. I think most chess players would not be able to name them. Okay, another one.
Oh, there's more? Okay.
Okay.
It feels like my chess tournament has begun, yeah? You're already putting me in time pressure.
This is just a warm-up. So name as many chess openings as you can remember within the span of 1 minute. Go.
Okay. No, time did not start. Soray Lopez, Italian.
Okay, now
Okay,
we're ready.
Spanish, Italian, Scotch, Vienna, Queen's Gambit, Sicilian, French, Caro-Kann, King's Indian, Grunfeld, English opening, B3 system, I don't know, Lasker system, I don't know what it's called. Then this is G4, there's Bonk Cloud, Reti, Queen's Indian, King's Indian, I think I've said, Queen's Gambit declined, Queen's Gambit accepted, Queen's Tartakova system. I mean, I don't know. There's this cow opening.
Yes.
I don't know what else. There's this Dubov, Nepo, knight f3, knight g1, knight c6, knight b8 system.
Very famous.
Yes.
Yes.
There is this a3. Then there's this e4, e5, a4, rook a3 sacrifice, which is
Yes.
very popular.
Visu.
Yeah.
System.
Then there is Petrov, bishop's opening, and okay. Many.
Okay, very well.
Budapest.
Very well. I think that's good enough for the warm-up. Hi, Vidit. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. I'm thrilled to see you back in action on the chessboard. This is your first classical tournament in a while.
Yeah.
And
One trivia for you. What was my last classical tournament?
World Cup.
No.
Um,
Oh, Oh yeah, I think probably World Cup. Yes, you're
World
right.
Cup, yeah. Because I was struggling to think,
Yes.
because it was at the end of last year. This
Yeah.
year you didn't play anything.
Yeah, this year I only played the Rapid and Blitz
in India.
in Kolkata. I really liked that tournament. And after that, I just played some online. So I don't know actually how it feels to see a chessboard, make moves on it. I don't know. I've forgotten the feeling.
Have you ever had such a long period of abstinence from
That's
chess?
a good question actually. I cannot recall such a big gap. Also, even if I had such a big gap, I think I was always looking at chess nonstop, at least more than what I'm doing now. So I don't recall such a big break. Maybe in the childhood days, because of exams or something, I would do it. But in recent years, I don't recall having such a big break.
Why did it happen? I know that it must be a combination of factors, but what would you say?
Yeah, it was a conscious decision. I think at the end of 2024, the year when I played the candidates in Toronto, at the year end, I think I was in London Chess Classic at that point. And I remember my motivation, not being the same as before. And after that tournament, I had decided that I will reduce playing so much.
How exactly did this work? So you were feeling that your motivation is not good enough, you were not motivated to play for a win, or you were sick and tired of seeing chess pieces? What exactly was happening?
Yeah, so to understand that, you have to go even before.
Hey guys, I think you should try out the sponsor of this episode, chessreps.com. They have courses on any opening imaginable under the sun. And they have both courses from some amateur players and courses from stronger players. For example, they have a couple of courses by me on the platform, including a course on the line in the 4 knights that I used to draw Wei E in our podcast episode half a year ago, and a line which Anish Giri used to defeat me at the end of our podcast episode, which I also play with white, a line against the French defense. I made a course on that. Highly recommend. There are lots of courses for different levels. So there are courses that are more aimed at amateur level for people who just want to get the gist of a given opening, and there are more hardcore courses. So try Chess Reps. You can train your openings in many different ways, playing against the engines, solving puzzles, just learning the lines. I really recommend you do this. This is a fun and effective way to learn your openings, especially for amateurs. Do check them out. The link is in the video description.
So I was streaming a lot in the pandemic. So that was 2020, right? That's when it started. And because there were no tournaments, I started streaming and it was going really well. I built my YouTube channel and it was close to 300K subscribers. My Instagram, all this content stuff, I was doing quite well. And I was also playing these online tournaments. I think if you remember, Chess24 used to have these online tournaments back in the day, Champions Chess Tour. But at the same time, I was seeing a rise of young players like Gukesh, Arjun, Prag. They were like 25, 70 or something, and they were, really playing good chess. And it was clear that they would, become very strong players. And at that point, I felt very dissatisfied with my chess performance. And I had to decide what to do because I was trying to do both YouTube, content creation, and playing chess. But what happens is, even as you know, when you're doing content creation, you have these thoughts in your head, like how I can do it better and stuff. So it's a distraction from chess because top level chess requires absolute dedication. So I didn't want to do both the things at the same time. And I thought I should give everything that I have to my goals of chess, because I've been playing chess for a long time and I felt like many a times I didn't realize my potential as a player because many reasons. I felt like I should give one last shot of what will happen if I give all my time that I have to playing chess and working on chess for a couple of years with just like focus like this. and no distractions.
This was in the year of
2022, right before the Olympiad in Chennai.
Okay.
So 2 months before that, I decided to do this. I said no to all the brand deals, anything that was coming on YouTube. I stopped creating content on YouTube. So if you see on my channel, it would be 3 years ago, there would be some video. And in now recent times, you would see it. It was a very testing time because I was giving everything that I had, but I was not getting immediate results. And that's how it works. You don't get immediate results in chess. But I could see some improvements. I could see myself getting better. I would say 2022 to 2024 mid was the most fruitful period for me, chess-wise, because I was so in the game. I was so switched on. And I had some great successes like the Grand Swiss, some Asian games, playing the candidates, and some very interesting games in candidates. So I felt like I was a different player in that. And not doing well in candidates was one of the factors, because I felt like I gave it my all to reach the candidates. I asked my question, do I have it in myself again to give it everything for the next cycle? It could be possible, but my heart did not say. Like mentally, I felt like I still have the capability, but my heart said I don't want to go through that again. And the problem with me is I enjoy other things in life a lot as well. It's not that if I don't play chess, I don't know what to do. Like for example, Anish Giri, he loves playing chess, looking at chess. He's obsessed with it. And for him, or even like Magnus, Magnus is so obsessed with chess. Even if he's somewhere on the beach, he's reading a chess book, something like that. I love chess, but I don't have the same obsession unless I'm motivated with some goal. And I thought, okay, I don't have that same motivation now. I decided, okay, I'll slowly reduce. You cannot be like one day I just stop playing, So I'll slowly reduce and I'll be a semi-professional. So I think that's where I am right now.
Semi-professional.
Semi-professional, like not a complete professional. Like I still play some tournaments, but not with the same intensity that I used to do before. And I've reduced the amount of tournaments because I enjoy spending my rest of the time in other things as well. So I don't know what will happen going ahead. But yeah, in 2024, that was the start of it, end of 2024. Especially after the candidates, I realized like, I don't want to go through this again.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this. As you yourself said, in chess, as in life, very often the results are not immediate and they get compounded. And after some hard work, in a year or two, you get into the candidates, for example, which was a huge achievement, obviously. Didn't you tell yourself at that time that, well, it's just the first candidates. If I continue working like that, imagine what could happen if I do this not for 2 years, but like 4 years, for example. Did you think of that?
Yeah, as I said, I still feel like the chess-wise, I have the skill required to do so. I believe in myself that I could be able to do that, but it also requires that grind of, putting in those hours, plus very hectic schedule. Like you travel for months, especially from India, you go to Europe and you have like multiple flights, and it started to take a toll on my physical health as well. This scheduling and so much travel, so much intensity. And I thought, should I value my physical health more? Also the mental pressure. I mean, it is not like I'm feeling mentally disturbed or something, but you have to be in that zone, and everything in your life revolves around that. And I also got married during the same time, and I felt like, do I still want to have the same goals? It was a conflict. Many times I felt like, no, I'm so good like at chess, like I can still have good understanding of chess. And when I work, I also enjoy working. So it's not like I don't enjoy looking at chess. Like chess just gets into your blood, after playing for so many years. So it was a very hard decision that I decided to do this. I still feel somewhere that, I can still play chess, I'm not stupid. But yeah, it was a very hard decision to decide to do this. And the reason why it is hard is, let's say if I keep doing chess, I know that I'm at a certain level. But let's say if I am doing other things also, it's a lot of uncertainty. I don't know where it will go. And that's one of the scary parts. But you have to take those things. Like, unless you try, you cannot know.
Of course.
And you have to go with limited information. And you have to venture out. It might be good, it might be bad, but you're worth taking a shot.
I'm really interested in discussing those alternative paths as well, but let's also finish with that part about you grinding chess. I wanted to ask how exactly that worked. How many hours per day were you working from 22 to 24?
Yeah, so basically it's a mindset shift. First, it was to get just focused, not do other things, and you think about chess all the time. And naturally, when you are so involved in the game, you develop better thoughts, you get more ideas. It's not like the ideas come just when you have, okay, put up your chessboard, or nowadays you just put up a screen and you start moving the pieces. That's not how it works. The ideas come when you're walking. Basically, it's just being about switched on all the time. So it's hard to quantify in the hours, but it's like being in the zone, always thinking. And then I realized that, of course, I need to build a team as well. The first person I think I contacted was Surya.
Surya Ganguly.
Surya Ganguly, yeah. And we were friends. I explained to him what my thought process was, where I'm coming from, what is my motivation. And I think that he likes challenges. He has been, helping Anand sir for a long time, and he had many students as well. But for him, this challenge of me being, let's say, in my close to 30s and trying to achieve this, and he being able to make a very important difference in this was a challenge for him. Like, let's see if this can happen, if I give it my all. And I think great things happen when there are passionate people in the team. And he was one of the first persons I contacted, and we started to work. But of course, he had limited time. He was doing some coaching, some courses, and of course, he has his family. So I realized that we need to build on this team. And then I was very lucky to also meet Daniel Vocaturo. He is an incredible person. And I really enjoy spending time with good people. And he's one of them. And Surya, we have some great memories from back in the day. And he's like a machine. He keeps working nonstop. And he was very passionate about chess. So he enjoys working on chess more than playing chess. So that was a good fit for me. And he was also very motivated to work on this goal together. For example, I remember in Grand Swiss, he was helping me remotely. And
2023, right?
2023. And I think he must have slept 3 to 4 hours on average. It's not like I asked him to do, because I feel whoever is a second, it's really not a good idea to ask them to work overnight, or, it's very well known that, you have to ruin your sleep, because I believe sleep makes a big difference.
Of course.
But he just couldn't stop himself. It was just his inner motivation. And I'm so glad that all this hard work paid off. And we qualified to the candidates. And in candidates also, we worked very hard, but it didn't work out. So yeah, first it was me being switched on, then building a good team and having that. There were other people also in the team later on, but these were the core people who were there part of this 2-year-long journey.
It's interesting that you
2-3 years.
mentioned this, first of all, mental space for chess. This reminds me of the famous essay by Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, who said, I think it's called the shower test. What you think about in the shower, like what you think about when you don't have to think about anything, is what you should do in your life, like 100% concentrate on. So this was chess for you at that time.
Yes, I was doing that. But I remember in Grand Swiss, let's say if I have some free time, let's say I would just put a podcast and I would watch it. Not yours. I don't know.
At that time, I was just beginning.
But in general, not non-chess podcast is what I meant. Like something from a different domain in life, because I feel you can learn a lot of things from other domains. And also it used to give me some sense of relief. Like you're so much in chess, but it makes you realize, there is a world outside chess. So you don't need to panic, This is not the end of the world if you don't win this. So that used to be my way of calming myself down, watching something else.
I remember watching the videos from that Grand Swiss where you performed incredibly well. and I remember that you were meditating all the time. On all the videos that I saw you were sitting like this before the game. What kind of meditation exercise were you using, or maybe are you still using?
Yeah, I started meditation back in 2020. So before that, I was always interested in spirituality, but I never had good guidance. And my life completely changed in 2019, 2020, because all these decisions which I took are not like totally mine. I got the guidance of my guru, and I went to his ashram in India, and I was so blessed to get his guidance and blessings. And I felt like he gave me a direction on what to work on. What should I do? All these big life problems. And he has this app called Black Lotus, where he has recorded how one should meditate, because he has done 10,000 plus hours of meditation. And I use that every day. For the last 5 years, I think my streak currently is 1,830 days or something like this. I don't remember.
So these are guided meditations.
Yes, I started with guided meditations, and then I do different kinds of meditations within it as well. For example, one of the meditations which is, so many people think of meditation wrong, in my opinion. People think meditation is something that you do to feel good. I feel if you're feeling good when you're doing meditation, then you have probably already achieved like the highest goal. But to go there, it's more like gym. It's the hard part that you're doing while you're meditating, but the after effect is very good. Like you feel great after gym. But during gym, you're breaking your muscle, you're pushing your limits. The same you're doing with the brain. And before the game, it's not just meditation, it's also a praying. And it was combination of these two things and, breath work and stuff like this. I strongly believe in that. But yeah, it's all due to the guidance of my guru.
Well, seems to have worked very well for you. So, okay, about the chess part, you were concentrating on it, and you had a nice team, but you yourself also were spending quite a lot of time on chess.
Yeah.
How was your day structured back then, when you're not playing the tournament?
In general, I'm not a very structured person. I'm not a person who will be like, 8 to 12, we do this, 12 to 2, we do this. I'm not like that. I don't work in that way. For me, it's very instinctive. I would, let's say, feel like, I need to check this opening, then I would. Or I should watch this game. Maybe I need to build this software for my training, then I would do that. So it's very instinctive. And I love watching games, even the old classic games. I just enjoy going through that. So many times it used to be that. So there was no structure. Absolutely. Even when I was training, I don't think I ever kept a proper structure, like these many hours. For some people it works great. For me, it did not.
So you improvised.
Yeah, I go with my gut. What do I feel like doing at that moment? That's the good thing about playing chess, that you have a lot of freedom, a lot of autonomy. You get to select what you want to do. But the downside is sometimes then you don't do things which you should be doing. Let's say looking at some technical end games, it's like how many times I have to understand, like with the pawn on d6 you have to do this, and it's a bit boring, so I sometimes skip that.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned the old classics. Who's your favorite one among the masters of the past?
For me, I don't have a single favorite person. I remember when I was very young, I used to be inspired by Garry Kasparov. I remember I used to go to my relative who had a Russian book of Kasparov versus Karpov. And of course, I didn't understand the commentary, but I would go through the games. I think the newer generation cannot understand this, reading chess books that to Russian. But I remember watching these games. So Kasparov in the young days, although my style was not at all like that. I remember reading a book of Capablanca, 100 best games or my best game, something like this. I think my style would be more closer to, let's say, Capablanca than Kasparov. Although I wish to play like Kasparov in his best days. And then I remember in candidates, I was watching a lot of games of Smyslov, because I felt like there was an effortlessness in his play. And before candidates, I was watching a lot of games of Tal. So it's not a single person who's favorite. There are times when I love, let's say, going through Karpov's games. Like, how was he winning so many games with his style, like looking like he's not doing anything special? So I try to learn from all the players, not just one favorite.
Yeah. What do you think of the younger generation who do not read chess books and who cannot, well, some of them do, obviously, but for example, Sindarov said he doesn't read chess books at all. Probably his coach Vidoniak showed him some of the positions from those old classics, but still, don't you think he's missing out on something?
We should also credit the newer generation for, not sticking to the classical way of studying, because with time you have to evolve. And they showed that this new way also works, so there's not one right way. But I think you also gain a lot by going through the games just for enjoyment. You develop a good sense of where to put which piece, For example, when I was learning the Catalan in my childhood, I learned it just by going through games, nothing else. I never had a book on Catalan.
Whose games mostly?
No, I would go to chess base. I would filter. I would put certain ELO like 2300 above. I would put only 1-0 and then I would go through all the games. So naturally, I developed a sense of where to put the which piece, something like that. And I remember there's one story, of a young Indian junior. I will not name who. We were in a training camp and we were, analyzing some games, some openings. And there was a senior coach not senior coach, but like a senior person who was also a strong player. He came and he advised the young player, you should study the games of Boleslavsky in the structure. He has some very good games. And then he said this and then he left. And then the young junior said, "Oh, who's Boleslavsky? Some upcoming junior or something?" So
freshman.
Yeah, it's like some new junior from Russia. I don't know. It just shows that there are more than one way to prepare. And like, for example, Nihal, Arjun, these players played a lot of Blitz. Whereas Gukesh has not. Gukesh had a very different way of learning. Like he did not use engine. So there are so many ways of becoming a top player. It's the same when it goes to about people who want to achieve like self-realization. It's not like only meditation works. Doing a lot of selfless service also works. So there are many ways to reaching the same goal.
Yeah, by the way, Sindarov also works without the computer, so that makes them similar with Gukesh. But Gukesh worked without the computer whatsoever at some point, right?
I don't think Sindarov works without computer.
With the Vidoniak on his training camps.
With Vidoniak, I heard that he works.
But on his own, yes, he probably
on his own, yeah. So with Gukesh, it was like until he was the age of 15, he was not using chess engine. He was using computer, but not chess engine, because he wanted to have his original thoughts, and it was influenced by Vishnu, who was a very original coach from Chennai, and it worked because he has a very original style. Like you cannot say Gukesh style is like who. It's a very unique way of playing. Like that's why sometimes his moves are very puzzling to many people, because it's not the most natural. He has a very unique way of playing chess.
Before we continue with you, what do you think about the current form of Gukesh and why he's struggling so much?
There could be many reasons of why it could be happening. Naturally, there's a lot of pressure when you're the world champion. And when certain things don't go well, your confidence also goes down. I've been in that situation. So I think he's a very strong player. Like he showed it in 2024. And I feel like this is a temporary stage. Every player has a phase where he's not doing well. Let's say there was a time when Anish fell to 27-20, but we know that his strength is more than that, and he's now back to 27-60. He had to just change certain things to doing that. And I think with Gukesh also, he will get back to his former strength, but he has to change a few things. And right now it could be, I think, the combination of the pressure of being world champion and then a lot of expectations, managing this new situation. Also, he's very young, yeah. He became champion when he was 18.
Yeah.
Right? So there are a lot of things changing, and to get used to that. And I think confidence makes a big difference when you're young. as well.
When I watch games of Gukesh from Norway Chess, I would never say that this guy lacks confidence. He is like playing for a win, going for the kill in every game. So,
Yeah, that's his natural style, right? Like he's always been that. So that is his default.
so maybe it's not the confidence, something else. Maybe he's over aggressive.
No, but yeah, he's trying to win too hard. Sometimes it works. But right now, yeah, it reminds me of his Grand Swiss tournament in 2023. He lost like 30 rating points or something like that. Where you look at the games, he was also trying too hard in those games. And maybe in Norway Chess, I felt like, for example, what he did against Prague
Yeah,
was crazy.
rook sacrifice.
Yeah, this entire philosophy of that chess. That was a bit of a surprise. I wonder now how many tournaments he has before World Championship.
Maybe that was the last one, I think, in classical. He'll have some Rapid and Blitz. The Olympiad, obviously. The Olympiad he'll
Olympiad,
have.
I think there's still time for him to recover. But yeah, I feel you need to change a few things, experiment more when you're stuck, because clearly certain things which you're doing is not working. But yeah, I think it's a matter of time before he gets back to his former strength. But the question is, like, there's also this pressure of World Championship match.
He needs to do it.
Yeah, so I think
before.
this is a test.
Yeah.
It's clearly not an easy time, but I think Gukesh is one of the players who is mentally very strong. That's one of his skill set. I noticed that in candidates. I think he has it in him to do it. But yeah, it's a testing time for sure.
Yeah, we will see. Let's come back to discussing yourself. You are now, as you said, semi-retired, but you still play chess.
I said semi-professional. And you said
semi-professional.
you're not glass half full, yeah?
Yeah. It's a very important clarification. Sorry about that. I was thinking about that interview that you gave where you said that you are about to retire. So I wrote to you back then on WhatsApp. Remember, I was very surprised because you're still so young and
I just
strong.
look young, but I'm 32. I'll turn 32 this year.
I'm 32 as well, but I believe that we are young. Like obviously not as
now
young.
you're glass half full, yeah?
Yeah. So that's why. So you still play chess, but you've concentrated on other things as well. And I wonder how it works for you these days. So you still work on chess, but not as intensively as you used to. How do you? I know you are not very structured, as you said, but if you ask to quantify this, how big of a percentage of your working time do you spend on chess, and how big a percent do you spend on other things like vibe coding or something like that?
So it's all relative compared to, let's say, how much time I was spending in 2023 or 2024. It's like maybe 5% of that or even less compared to what I was spending. Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So 5%, for example, you spent like 12 hours back then, and now it's
You can do the maths.
subdivided by 20, so it's less than an hour per day.
Yeah, I mean, but of course I keep following tournaments and stuff. But there are phases, like there are times when I look at chess. So I enjoy working on chess. But the problem with me is right now is like, I don't know what's the goal. Like back then it was clear what was my goal. Like I want to give it all and see what my potential is as a chess player. I'll give myself 2-3 years and see what is my potential as a chess player.
So you had no goal become a world chess champion. You had the goal to see your potential.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to see my potential if I give everything that I have got, because that's why I don't have so much of a regret now being a semi-professional, because I don't have the regret like I did not try. I wanted to see 2-3 years if I give everything that I have, what can I achieve? So I have, of course, disappointment of not winning the candidates, certain things not going well, but I don't have the regret of not trying.
And now, you, for example, you came here. We are in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and you're playing here the UzChess Cup. You came here. Did you have any goal like I want to win this event, for example?
No.
Or here I want to see, can I play after half a year of not playing or something like this?
No. I had no such goals. I have come here with an open mind. Also, the fact that there is going to be Olympiad and I need to play certain classical games before Olympiad. That was the primary thing. And there was a phase when I accepted UzChess. I was very interested to work on chess and to play chess. So that is the time when I accepted. But again, it was like the motivation went down after that. Then it came up again. So it's a lot in phases. I feel that's how most of the people also feel in general. Like there is no certainty. The vision, as they say, the vision in hindsight is 20 out of 20. But right now, I don't know what it is going to be. So it keeps changing. So the reason I accepted UzChess was also one of the reasons was Olympiad. And there was a phase where I wanted to see or play classical chess. I wanted to prepare and play. And also one of the reasons was Anish was motivating me a lot to play this. He was like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you not playing classical chess? Come on, go for it. And it was the same day I got the invitation, like somewhere around that. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a sign. Yeah. Like Anish is messaging me and asking me to play.
Thank you so much, Anish, because without you, we would not be sitting here.
But after that, he didn't motivate anymore. So he just like, accept the invitation. Now you're on your own, So yeah, it's interesting to see how it will go. But I have less pressure. But at the same time, you always want to do well, right? Like you don't want to, I hate losing in chess and in other sports also.
But if you don't work almost at all, if you say it's 5%, then did you prepare at all for this tournament? Because I know top chess is very demanding openings wise, or are you relying on your old work accumulated over years?
Yeah, previous work. I'm relying more on that. And also one of the reasons is like nowadays it's very hard to prepare chess openings. And it would be much more interesting for me because right now to find ideas in chess openings, you need a different framework, different mindset. And as I don't have the same motivation of becoming like the best player possible, I find it hard to motivate myself for doing that. But if I'm working with someone, then I have that motivation to do it for them. So it's very different. Like I think as a person who is helping someone, then I would have that motivation back. But for myself, it comes and goes. It's not very constant, but yeah. So right now I'm relying more on my just playing strength and previous work, which is not ideal, but that's the truth.
Have you worked with anyone helping them, like a second or something like this? Maybe helped Anish?
I think the thing is with Anish, everybody thinks that we work with each other and we are each other's second, but we are just good friends. And it's very rare to find friends within the chess world. So it's a big misconception that Anish and I are like, we have worked in the past, but not really recently. That I've been helping him or something. I was also watching candidates and I was like, oh, Anish has played this move. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, or anyone else for that matter. So
got it. But have you, because in one of your interviews, I noticed that you say that maybe I will do coaching second in that was what you said.
Yeah, for me, for example, let's say I don't have that same drive for myself, but I feel like during this journey, I've learned a lot about what should be done, what should not be done. And it would be nice to live this dream of, let's say, making someone else reach at the top. It could be world championship. It could be world number one. It could be just being a top player. It could be anything. But I think that I would feel more motivated for working with them rather than for myself right now. That's what I meant. Let's say if there is some young junior, somewhere to help him achieve that. And because I think young people will have very strong motivation, a lot of energy, which I cannot have right now. But I will have the skills and the wisdom of doing some mistakes and learning from that, which I can help them with. And it would be very interesting, is what I thought.
But you haven't started doing this?
No.
Do you have anyone in mind? Any junior that you...
No, I think some things will fall in place when it's the right time. I'm not actively like reaching out or looking for it. Maybe someday, who knows?
Okay, so let's talk about some other things that you do in addition to chess these days, maybe even more intensively. So I know you're a big fan of vibe coding or agentic coding, as they call it these days. You've designed some chess apps, chess websites. I've tried myself some of them. I don't remember the name, but the one where you have to solve puzzles from famous players' games. I really liked it. Can you please tell me more about it, how it started and where it's going these days? Are you like raising funds from venture investors or anything like that?
So the thing is, I always was a tech or a gadget person. You know, I used to love technology and collecting gadgets and stuff like this. I remember in 2016 when I was working with Anish, helping him for his candidates. So back then we did work, and I used to experiment and try to make some software which would help us, you know, but I didn't have the technical skills of a programmer, and that was a barrier. And even when I was doing this journey from 2022 to 2024, when I was like intensively working, I tried to hire some software engineers or work with some people who were my friends to build some software to help me in training, because I couldn't myself do it. I always liked it. I don't know if it's the most efficient way, but I liked it. I was always fascinated by it. But right now, when in 2025, towards the end, I realized I can do it by myself. And that unlocked like a whole new world for me. I was like, wait, I had this idea. I wanted to do it. I can do it myself. Like, it's like a video game for me now. I could just build something and keep working on it. And for me, the thing is, I don't get bored when I'm doing it. It's very enjoyable. And that's why I'm doing it. I don't know how it is for other people. I think many people do it. But probably the difference is, like, I think almost everyone nowadays will be using AI in their life. There's no question about it. But let's say it's very easy to build like a prototype of something which is working 80%. The problem comes when it's the last 20%.
Yeah,
when you have to fine tune it, you have to pay attention to the details. That's the boring work. And for me, I enjoy even that. So for me, I think that's the difference. Like, I keep tweaking with it. I feel like there's so many possibilities that can be done. And it feels like a video game to me. It's like what Sindarov for him Counter-Strike is now. So it's like a video game for me, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know where it's going, but I do it for my personal enjoyment.
But currently, you continue doing this, right?
Yeah. I do it to help some family members, let's say, or I have some personal problem. I build something for myself, but not necessarily publish it.
Can you give some examples of what you built?
Sure. So the reason I had built this website called tactics.viditchess.com was I wanted some puzzles which are not like traditional tactics. Let's say I go to Chess. They have great puzzles, right? But it's all forcing moves. And not necessary that in my chess games, I need to find the forcing moves. Sometimes the quiet moves are the hard ones to find, or find a move which is the best move in the position, but the difference is not like winning and equal. The difference is like slightly better and equal. Because in top level chess, you need to find best moves in such scenarios as well. But there is no such tool to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if I can do that myself? Build some tool where I get puzzles which are exactly for these problems. And that was the motivation to start it. I did that back then, and it was a lot of fun to curate it because it was not as easy as I thought it would be, because I used to get a lot of bad puzzles also. Then I keep tweaking the algorithm and make it more interesting. So that was one thing. Then my first project was this memory.viditchess.com, I think.
For the blindfold?
Yeah, just for memorizing pieces. So it's a good pattern recognition system. That was just more like fun project. Then it could be to help with your opening preparation, to help with like game analysis, to draw more stats, etc. Then with my family, it's more like, let's say my wife, she's a doctor. So she has some problem within that. So how can I use technology to help her? Something like that. Also, I try to use the latest AI tools that are there, not necessarily to solve a problem, but to get used to it. Let's say now I have these, back then when OpenClaw Before it was big, I was using it, but it kept breaking. That was a bit of a problem. Then I started using Hermes
Oh,
a month ago.
recently started using it as well. Yeah,
A month ago I used it, and it's really good. Then I tried to use different skills that are there. So I used G-Brain by Gary Tan, who is from Y Combinator, and experiment with that. Then there are many skills of agentic engineering. Try to use that. I have too many subscriptions, and I'm burning money left and right, but it's fun to do it. My Twitter timeline is completely messed up. Like there is 2 feeds, right? Like for you and the following. The for you only gives me all this agentic stuff and AI stuff, and I'm like kind of bored with it now. I want something else. So it's always like 10 things you should do. This every day there is a new update, and I'm like, I feel FOMO that I've been left behind. But yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, my Twitter feed is also like some AI guys from the Silicon Valley and chess players. Like on a given day, it could be intertwined. Do you think that there is a possibility that you'll go like full startup founder mode and you'll just dedicate most of your time to building those products?
It's a possibility. I don't know if it's a realistic possibility right now, but it could be. Right now, I'm not committed to anything. I'm just learning. I'm just exploring and having fun. Because if I do something, I try to go all in when I'm doing it. Let's say when I did it with chess, I went all in, right? So the next big thing, I have to really feel like passionate about it. And it has to be a big problem that I want to solve. And maybe using technology is just a tool to solve that. But what's the bigger problem that I want to solve? That I'm not sure yet. So I'm just reading more great books that I'm trying to learn from, so that you have good information and explore your curiosity. Not everything needs to be like work, right?
Absolutely. Well, we're in Uzbekistan now, and here they will have the Olympiad, where you'll also be participating. Give me some predictions.
I think this Olympiad, it would be hard for us to mimic the same performance like we did. I think we all realized last time that what we did in 2024 was really special. Like in 44 games, we lost only 1 game, which was insane. Like, I mean, not as a team, as an individual, we lost only 1 game.
That's crazy.
And we won like almost round to spare. And so it would be very hard to do it. I would never say impossible, but I would say it's very hard to mimic that. We all were in like the best shape possible. I mean, of course, there are some fluctuations, but overall as a team, we were in great shape. I think this year's Olympiad will be tougher. I think Uzbekistan has a very strong team. I don't know if Russia is playing.
I don't know neither. I think it's still an open question.
Yeah. So if Russia comes in, they'll also be another strong team. China, you can never underestimate. USA. We are one of the favorites, but I wouldn't say that we are the favorite. We need to, do something exceptional to get that back. And that's one of the reasons also that I wanted to warm myself up with UzChess and some other tournaments. That Olympiad, I don't want to go like how I've come here, with half-hearted. I don't want to do that in Olympiad. There I have extra motivation to play.
Yeah. So is it set in stone already which boards you will be playing, or if you perform
I don't even know if I've qualified to the team. So because in India, there are a lot of top players.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee that I'm in the team also. But if I'm just preparing myself if I'm in the team, because there are so many players and rating wise it will be calculated. So I don't know if I'm in the team.
So that speaks to the strength of the team, obviously. Yeah, if a 27 plus rated player says this. Okay, Vidit, I need to prepare you a little bit for the preparation for the Olympiad with the final Blitz game that crowns this podcast.
Oh, but the problem with the Blitz game is I have no motivation. For example, let's say if you win this game, it's a great thing. Right?
For me, yes.
From you. As you said, you won against Nordirbek and you remember that, right?
Of course.
But for Nordirbek or for me, even if I win this game, There's no motivation.
Just a normal day.
Exact. Not normal day, but what is there to gain? But if you lose, there's something. So
But you have negative motivation. If you lose to a petzer like me, maybe you
exactly,
are not
it's all
happy.
negative. So that's the thing. But yeah, we can give it a shot.
Magic of post-production. Okay, let's go.
By the way, I have a trivia for you.
Okay.
Can you name the top 10 players of the world right now? As we
You're
play?
trying to distract me.
No, you started it the trivia for me, so I'm going the same route, you know. Number 1, I can help you with Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen.
Okay, second.
Fabi Hikaru,
Oh, good.
Nodirbek, Sindarov, Keimer, and then I don't know. It's all
At least I got 10 seconds.
so mixed.
Okay. I have another trivia for you.
Yeah. Okay.
So, right now the Norway chess ended, right?
Yeah.
If it was a classical normal scoring system, what would be the score? Who would have won the tournament? You hate this. Wait, this was your same game with Nordebek, right? Something similar.
Similar opening, yes.
How's life?
Horrible.
Take your time. Why you have 3 minutes 44 seconds. Take your time. Let's come to the same time and then we play. What in general is your playing styles? Positional, tactical?
Horrible.
It's clear that you don't like to talk when you're playing.
Banter Blitz is not for me. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Rook G5.
I don't know why I did this.
G5. Impressive, yeah?
Maybe it's not a good idea to do this.
Rook G5 is... Bravo. What a move.
You are being sarcastic, right? Yes. Shouldn't have allowed this. Okay. At least I'm not mated.
Yeah. Do you like endgames?
Sometimes.
Oh, you're sharp, huh? You're sharp. Not bad. Not bad. Wow. And you're greedy also.
Yes. I like them pawns.
You don't get scared easy. What's the rush? Take your time. Take your time. Yeah. Cool, calm.
Collected.
Yes. Don't be collected. Just just be slow. What was that Magnus quote? Too weak, too slow?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Please be that. But I think you're a tactical player.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're a very tactical player. Sharp.
I have not such a horrible position, actually.
Yes.
Come to think of it.
Yes, yes.
Maybe it will change very soon.
That shows how much preparation I've done on the tournament.
Okay.
Oh, come
Let's
on. This
go.
was a mistake. This was a big mistake. You want to flag, yeah? You want to play for the time?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, blundered that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry, I used two hands.
Not good.
Oh,
I flagged.
all my distractions
yeah,
worked.
yeah. Nice.
But you played not so bad, actually.
Yeah, thank you.
Until you exchanged the queens.
Yeah, I don't know. I decided that I have this A pawn that will help me in the endgame, but it was a
Yeah.
bad decision, right?
Yeah. I think this game shows more of how bad I played than.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and subscribe to Vidit because he's doing some content creation job. Amazing recaps from the candidates. Maybe there will be some more content by you.
Hopefully. Let's see.
Okay, good luck at the tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks.